Some people have said that, well, we're in June now, as much as things have been very difficult, Nigeria has pretty much been functioning without the budget. Is it something that would make a marked difference if the budget gets passed today? Or are we just making noise over, something not so significant?
I know, the budget is the lifeline of a government, of a nation. You have the United States. We copy the presidential system of government for the United States of America, and a few weeks ago, they passed the budget. And they were close to a government shutdown. A government shutdown in the United States means that Congress could not agree on how to spend money, and government is shut down. They will not pay salaries, no capital project. It is the lifeline of a government and a country. That we don't have a budget in Nigeria should be sounding. Countries won't take us serious. We have capital projects that need to be executed in the 2017 fiscal year. We are not doing that. We have salaries to be paid. We have all kinds of commitments. We have debt to be serviced. We have all kinds of issues on ground, and we don't have budget to drive the economic activities of the government, because the government is the biggest player in the Nigerian economy. And if we don't have a budget to drive this economy, to drive us out of this recession, based on what they've said, that this budget, the way they are going to spend, they want to spend their way out of recession. And if you don't have the legal document that will enable you to spend your way out of recession, so how do you want to get yourself out of recession? So it's a serious problem for a country like Nigeria that we don't have a budget, and before you know it, we are going to 2018. All you now hear is about political campaign and activities for 2019.
Well, we'll hope next week brings better news for that
Hopefully.
side of things. Let's move on now to Biafra, and it's been a hot topic. Nnamdi Kanu, of course, is out on bail, and he's been in the news a lot. There's a lot happening. There's even insinuations that he's suddenly healing people. We're not sure exactly what's happening there. But there was a sit-at-home order, which was relatively successful by many standards in the southeast. We hear even banks were shut down, most businesses are not open at all. Is that a sign of things to come, you think?
I look at Biafra as the activities led by independent people of Biafra, as represented by Nnamdi Kanu, as asking questions, some salient questions as regarding the future and the unity of Nigeria. Ikemba Ojukwu never wanted Biafra. When you look at the documents that were reviewed, that were agreed upon in Aburi, Ghana, before the Civil War, what Ojukwu was asking for was true federalism, a sort of confederacy. He was asking for devolution of powers. He was asking for independence of the region. He was asking for the democratic way for a federal system of government to do things. He was, drawing inspiration from the fact that we used to have 4 regions or 5 regions manned by premiers. Ojukwu's idea was about a federal system of government, like being practiced in Germany, United States, Switzerland. But all of a sudden, Gowon reneged on those agreements, and unfortunately, we got ourselves into a civil war. So the question about Biafra is not really the question of a separate state, though Nnamdi Kanu is demanding for a separate state. But the consensus across the country is that Biafra represents a very important question about the unity of Nigeria. How do we move forward from the kind of situation that we find ourselves at? Every month, 36 state governors, they go to Abuja and they sit down to share resources from the Niger Delta. It doesn't make for a progressive development of the state. You cannot have United States, all the 50 states in US gather in Washington every month to share oil from Alaska or from Texas. It doesn't happen. You have California, you have Texas, everybody's running according to their pace. So the sit-at-home was largely successful, because a lot of people have sympathy for Biafra, not in terms of basically a separate state, but in terms of the questions that they're asking, and also for the fact that, the Southeast region, since the end of the Civil War, has largely, been developed with very much of private capital and also a little intervention from government. So everybody, not just Southeast, not just Nnamdi Kanu, everybody should be asking the question: what is the basis of the unity of Nigeria? Are you happy with the response the federal government is giving, if any at all? Well, acting president was at Yeshiwiharadua Center to participate in Biafra at 50, and he made some good points. But the actors, Obasanjo, everybody made good points about Biafra, but over the years, this is over 50 years, and they've not still addressed the question of why was there a declaration of Biafra. Once we're able to answer that question as a country, we can move forward as a progressive state. But right now, we are still sharing money every month, and we cannot make progress.
Well, thank you very much. There's always so much to talk about. I mean, the Biafra issue is one that's still very sensitive, and like you said, the federal government is going to need to do much more than the paying lip service, and of course, all Nigerians need to pay attention to what's happening in the Southeast. Thank you very much for being here today.
Thank you very much.
We'll take a break now. When we'll come back, we'll have more to talk right here on Rubbin Minds. Please do stay with us.
So let's dance now, it is my turn. Just one word.